These are live pictures coming out of Athens now. The two leaders visiting Chinese President Xi Jinping and his Greek counterpart, President Pavlopoulos, seem to have finished their meeting. They're walking out. We do understand that President Xi Jinping will be meeting with the Greek Prime Minister also as part of his official agenda for the day. We're also joined on the line by our correspondent, Nawid Jabarkil. Nawid, please go ahead.
Yeah, so the Greek Prime Minister's meeting with President Xi will be an important one to watch because we're expecting plenty of deals to come out of it. Greek state media here reporting that there could be at least 16 deals, and this will be a major boost for the Greek economy. Remember, the Greek economy, as has been well documented, has had its own fair share of problems over the past decade with international bailouts and a debt crisis as well. That has changed now. Growth is once again returning to Greece. The government expects growth of about 2% this year, and Chinese investment has been essential in that turnaround. So those deals will be very, very important to watch. Aside from that, President Xi, as I mentioned, will be visiting the Piraeus port, one of the key Chinese investments here. He'll then have dinner with President Pavlopoulos later this evening. Business, that's high on the agenda on Monday. Tuesday, the focus shifts to culture. President Xi, in his remarks with the president a few moments ago, he made note of what he said were two great civilizations. He's spoken a lot about the importance of cultural relations between Greece and China, and he mentioned that they, quote, share same philosophies as well. Really, this is a country that's steeped in history. You can just see from the building behind me, everywhere you go in Athens, you really sense the feel of history here, and that's something that President Xi is looking to highlight as well. So tomorrow he'll visit a museum, but really topping the agenda here are the trade deals, which we're watching out for in the next few hours as President Xi prepares to meet Prime Minister Mitsotakis. Zhengshe?
Now, we do stay with me here. We've been looking at the live pictures there. In Athens, Chinese President Xi Jinping is now meeting with the Greek Prime Minister Mitsotakis. We'll keep you updated on their meeting as well. Now, I do also want to get your take on where we left off in our earlier hit, where you were talking about the possible sectors the two sides could reach trade deals in. Talk to us about some of those possible sectors.
Yeah, various sectors really. Piraeus Port really is the flagship investment. Chinese shipping giant COSCO invested there first in 2009. It took management of the container terminal, and since then the head of the authority told me that throughput, that's the amount of containers that pass through the terminal, has risen from about 880,000 each year to 5.7 million. So it's really been transformative, and that's helped shape trade, not just here in Greece, but across the region. Ports and shipping, one area to watch out for. Aside from that, agriculture. China, 1.4 billion is its population. Greece wants to try and target that market. We hear that saffron could be one thing that could be on its way very, very soon to Chinese shelves. Aside from that, finance as well. Plenty of investment here from China. So Chinese banks looking to strike deals as well. We understand that there could be the opening of offices here for some Chinese banks. Aside from that, I sat down with the Deputy Foreign Minister earlier this week, and he said technology was one sector that he wanted to promote, and perhaps very, very importantly for the cultural ties that I was mentioning earlier is tourism. He said 30 million tourists, international tourists, visit Greece every year. Only 180,000 of them come from China. So that's one area that could really be a huge growth area for Greece, which, by the way, needs the economic help. Public debt was 173% of GDP, the government predicts this year. Unemployment's at 17%. So the investment from China is something that the Greek government is really hoping can transform its economy. Zhengshe?
Nawid Jabarkil with a live report for us in Athens. Now, we thank so much. And we do understand that President Xi is now sitting down with the Greek Prime Minister. We should be able to hear what they're talking about also. His meeting with Mitsotakis follows talks with Greek President Pavlopoulos as the Chinese leader is on a 3-day state visit to the country. And trade tops the agenda of his trip. And earlier, upon his arrival on Sunday, senior Greek officials greeted Xi and his wife, Peng Liyuan, at the airport. President Xi expressed his appreciation for the long history and glorious culture of the European country. He also praised the fruitful results of cooperation that China and Greece have reached under the Belt and Road Initiative. Xi said he looks forward to forging stronger relations and further developing cooperation with Greece. Kyriakos Mitsotakis has been serving as Greek Prime Minister since July this year. He is the son of Konstantinos Mitsotakis, a former Greek Prime Minister and honorary president of the New Democracy Party. Mitsotakis was in China last week for the second International Import Expo. In his speech at the opening ceremony, he said Greece seeks for win-win cooperation with China through further bilateral investment and trade. We're heading for a short break now. Do stay with us here on CGTN.